So here's a branch. It looks pretty organic, if you ask me. There's our buzzword again. Organic. Ahoy, salty dogs! Lenscap here, and today we're playing StarMade on the Star Squadron server. Welcome back to the server, fellas. So today, we're going to work on the tree a little bit. But before we do that, let me hop out of the captain's chair. I killed a couple pirates. I wanted to... let's make sure my inventory's clean. I wanted to get some of the loot they dropped, and we're going to fly over to Garth's station. We're not too far. We're basically just going to sell all this stuff and get a little bit of cash. And then we have a little bit of disposable income that we can use in case we need to purchase any other things or kind of whatnot there. So inventory full. And we salvaged their ships too, so we got some stuff in there as well. So we got all kinds of stuff to sell. Let's go ahead and hop in our cockpit. I think, yep, I've already got his station targeted. So we're just gonna nose up to that. There it is. And let's roll. So today I think we're gonna work on the, like I said, we're gonna work on the tree a little bit. I want to get a little bit more tree shape in before we start adding in kind of like structures and like modules and stuff. We'll probably, the first thing we're gonna put into it is like I'm not sure, honestly. We've got two things that I really want right up front. We need a docking place, you know, so we can actually land on our plate and not just have ships like just floating around on the ground and stuff. I mean, I know they're technically like docked to the ground, but they're basically just sitting there. We don't want that. And the other thing I really would like is a factory setup. I also was considering some kind of like gravity elevator as well. This ship, let's go into build mode. This ship won't dock on the planet because of this antenna array on the bottom. We might be able to put a dock like up in the air or something. We could attach it to. I mean, StarMade physics, you know, don't really matter as far as that goes. So that's for sure a possibility. Let's back up a little bit. I don't want to accidentally bump into his station or anything, but I do want to be close enough to access the shop, and we are from here. So the shop has 73 million credits, and I only have 160,000, so we're going to sell some of this stuff. Anything Garth will take. So we got to split our stacks. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care if it's worth as much as the base or more. That's worth a lot, because he doesn't have any regular hull. Yeah, this is good. So we're going to sell this stuff and maybe work on our... Okay, so we got to keep the black paint. And then work on our tree. For now, we're talking about kind of the modules we want to add to the tree and kind of the stuff that we want to input. I'm going to keep the paint. We'll split this up and try and sell this stuff. Nice. But for now, we need to get a little bit more work done on the tree itself. We can't really put in modules until we have something to put them into. Sold all our loot. Thanks, Garth, for being our guy for that. We made 18 million credits off of that stuff. That's pretty awesome. Garth, you're my hero. We definitely are going to come to your shop anytime we need to purchase anything as well. So here we go. The planet now is... Here, let's just use this filter to find it. It's always easier than trying to look around. So we're going to fly back down to the planet here and get started on the tree. I haven't really... I have like an idea of how I want the tree to be shaped and stuff, but I'm not entirely sure of exactly what I want to do with it. Now, one thing we want to be careful of, though, is we don't want to get too close to the planet because, of course, we don't want to get sucked into the gravity of it. because this ship, like I said, won't be able to land. So what we're going to have to do, I guess, is leave it in orbit and build our space bike, which we have all the parts for, and then hop back down on the space bike. Gosh, I never can find my plate. Giraffey was telling me in one of the comments on a previous video that she always has issues finding plates on this planet too, so I'm glad it's not just me. Okay, we'll find this eventually, and let's get started on the tree as well. So we've made a little bit of progress on our tree trunk here. It was, as you recall, it was just like a flat stump before. Now we're kind of getting this windswept arch shape to it. It's kind of ending up, it's kind of trending this direction. So likely the canopy is going to be somewhere about here where I'm flying, which is right where I want it. Kind of like in this open area here. And we're about ready to put a branch. We're going to make a branch go out kind of this direction. It's hard to draw in a 3D space when there's nothing to look at, but kind of this direction. And I'm thinking we're going to put like a gravity elevator, maybe like here-ish. That'll take us up onto that branch, and then we'll build some pathways to get from the branch to the canopy. And the canopy is where our hangar and stuff is going to be. So I think, judging from the size of this tree, if you compare it to the size of this blimp Zeppelin thing from Drakkart, we're going to need a second tree maybe here that grows almost more vertically and holds these islands in place. I think that would be cool. And that'll give us a lot more room as well once we finally get to designing a base. So I thought we'd work on this tree a little bit together. Let's do the next ring. I'm sorry for flying around all crazy like when I'm in build mode like this. But I fly around a lot so that I can get a bunch of different angles and a bunch of good views kind of on what we're building. So I figured we'd build a layer of this, at least one, here together. And so we can kind of get an idea for how the building process is working for me. So basically I'm just kind of framing out the direction that I want this thing to kind of expand, which in this case is more of an out. Error already logged in. Evil Giraffey. Uh-oh. Looks like Giraffey's having some trouble logging in. But anyway, I'm trying to go kind of out and up and trying to make it feel organic at the same time, which is the difficult part of this. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're getting really narrow, and I'm not sure that that's what I want. So we want to come out this way some as well. Maybe out to like there. Maybe one more like that. And then kind of tie it all into the rest of the tree here. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we do this one. Yeah, that's going to look a little better. We want to kind of round it out some too, so we've definitely got this really drastic slope going, and I like that. It definitely needs to be pretty drastic. So it's going the right direction here. I am removing the blocks, as many blocks as I can, just to kind of maximize the amount of wood that we, or minimize, I guess I should say, the amount of wood that we're using for this project. I mean, obviously, we have tons. You know, we got 63,000 blocks, but I won't get you as far as you think, so. Alright, so that's pretty good. We can kind of tidy this up a little bit. Whoop. Kind of tidy this up a little bit, fill in the gaps here. So we're just going to fill in this layer. It's kind of interesting the way you have to do it, because obviously we fill in the gaps on this layer because it's rising over here, and then on the other side it's rising but from the other direction. So we got to fill in the gaps on the under, you know, on the previous layer, the layer underneath. And once we've got these gaps filled in, then we do a little bit more work kind of shaping the underneath layer as well from this side. So it's not it's kind of a process, right? But it is. I made an analogy last episode to painting, and it definitely feels a lot like painting to me. Actually, that one slopes pretty well. I'm okay with that. So the next layer is gonna be more kind of round, and it's gonna be more. Oh, whoops. I think this is going to be more like the rear of it here. 4, 5. And I'm not really counting either. I'm just kind of drawing shapes. Until I get kind of the shape I want from this. But it seems to be working out pretty well for me. Maybe like that. And then let's do maybe... let's do maybe there, and then like this. Like that. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm liking the shape. Now this one, okay, to there. And then we'll start cutting back in. Remember, it is supposed to be relatively round, but not. It's not a circle, though, right? It's not necessarily an oval either. It's a tree. So where did that? There. Oh, uh-oh! I'm placing blocks in the background. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Okay, and we don't want to hit the cliff either, right? We want to kind of avoid the cliff, so we're going to cut back here this way now. Like that. Good, good. Maybe a couple more diagonal ones, kind of like that. Oh, and then we, there we go. We've made it back to our start. Okay, now we fill in just like before. We'll start back here. Good, good, good. And then we'll take a look at kind of the slope from the back of the tree. It seems to be working out pretty well for us, though. Yeah, I like that. Let's fill in this top and see how that kind of plays out also. See if that goes with our theme. The tree, for the most part, is going to be hollow, and I don't think I'm going to put anything inside of it. We might hide, like, power caps or something in there if we end up needing some, but for the most part, it's probably going to be basically empty. Organic shapes, when you only have blocks to work with, are a little bit more difficult, but we're getting something pretty nice out of this, I feel like. Okay, let's take a look from over here, from a couple other angles. Oh yeah, that's definitely looking like kind of the shape we want it to look. The shape we want it to be. That's almost perfect. In fact, I'm really pleased with this. Okay, so we're about ready to put in this branch. Then I think it's far enough away from... this could clean up a little bit, actually. We don't want it to be too clean, though. We still want it to look pretty messy. You know, organic. Organic. We can put some more stuff like this going on. Kind of like support for the layer above. That's pretty good. Let's get rid of this block. Yeah, yeah. Let's get rid of this block as well. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Looking good. Do we want one there? Maybe like that. Nope. Go. No, go there. There we go. And we'll put one there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, are you ready for the branch yet? I think we're ready for a branch. Let's do a branch now. We kind of want it to come maybe down a little bit too. So we're going to start that. Let's see. How are we going to do this? It's going to be very similar to the way we did the roots. So let's kind of place where we want the limits of it. So how do we want it to extend first? We're just going to do like a basic, like a wireframe for the shape of it. Oh man, just randomly placing a bunch of blocks. That's not what we want to do. I mean, it's not necessarily a science, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty, I'm not sure. Okay, so there, and then we'll come out some more. We kind of have this angle going, and I like to keep that. So, should we come out a little bit farther than that? It seems like it's still a pretty small branch. Maybe we even branch off of this. Or should we fill it out some first? Let's fill it out a little bit first. So this will be the bottom layer of the branch, basically. Let's come out further. I want to do some kind of angle. Kind of like that a little bit. And then maybe we split it off with like a Y. Oh, not there, but there. Yeah, like that. And then it's also going to split this way about here. Okay. And we'll coat it with leaves. Okay, so, and that's probably going to stay about that thickness, honestly. And let's make this one maybe do like that. Yeah. Yes. Okay, it's looking like a tree. It's starting to look like a tree branch. That's what we want. You know, it's all about shape and form. It's less about being accurate and consistent, and more about organic. You know, organic is a good buzzword for this build. That looks a little better there. I did build this. I thought about maybe putting a door there or something, but I don't think we're going to go actually inside the tree. So let's remove that block and put one here. And now we'll work on the next kind of layer of the branch. This is getting pretty kind of random and spontaneous with my chatter, so I probably will cut here and then show you the branch in just a moment. Alright, so there we go. There's our first branch. Now the tree is probably gonna narrow a little bit and start splitting as well. So I think from here, we're probably gonna split the tree into, we'll maybe add 2 or 3 more layers of the trunk, and then we're gonna split it into 2 larger branches, and then kind of split those branches as well as we continue extending the shape of of the tree. But this is what we're working with for now. Okay, I just wanted to shape that a little bit. So here's a branch. It looks pretty organic, if you ask me. There's our buzzword again, organic. I'm still trying to flesh out the details. As anybody who's ever built a tree, like in Minecraft or anything, knows, especially if you're trying for like a natural look, it's never really finished. I added a little bit more depth on the tips of these branches, and I think we're ready to start adding the leaves and maybe a platform right here. Like I said, I think a gravity elevator would be a cool addition, and that'll be how we get from the ground up into our base. Or from the base to the ground if we decide to put maybe some structures on the floor. So, threw up some leaf vomit on the end of that branch. That looks pretty good, I guess. From here it does. Whoa. Not too bad. It definitely starts to look like leaves. I mean, it'll look better once we've got the whole rest of the tree going. I started to do those 2 branches where they're going to split right there a little bit. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a bit of a buildy episode, but, we got to have those from time to time as we work on our plate here. But thank you again for tuning in. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like and stay tuned for more. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.